Most people think that quitting starts with action. It doesn't. It starts with the will. The moment you decide that the pain of staying the same is far greater than the pain of change. I built that will by seeing my future self, and that future pulled me out of my rock bottom. After the rock bottom, I didn't suddenly become free. Instead, I was still addicted and I was still broken. However, this time I actually closed my eyes and I could see something in the future unlike before. And I saw a person that I respected. I saw a person who was jacked, confident, could speak to girls, could speak to guys, and he had the same name as me. He gave me that first step, the decision to take action and change. After the rock bottom, I didn't suddenly become disciplined. Instead, I was still addicted and I was still broken. But I realized I could not continue like this if I seriously wanted to change. I could either die in this bottomless pit or I could climb out of it one way or another. And that was the first moment I had this one flicker of will within my life. And that vision became my weapon. Because once you see the man that you're meant to be, every relapse feels like a betrayal. And you see, will isn't motivation. Motivation fades. Will is the thing that you can return to whenever things get tough. And trust me, they will get tough. However, here is how I created mine. First of all, I built a picture of my future self. I saw a person who could speak to girls, who could speak to guys, who could go outside fully confident to do whatever at whenever. And that person became my future goal, which I knew for a fact if I just continue doing what I was doing, I am eventually gonna make it. And every single time I compared my pains, I asked myself, is the pain of staying the same lesser than the pain of changing? And the answer was no. Staying the same felt far worse than changing. And so I took action, and that pushed me forward through every obstacle I had along my way. And I gave a promise to myself. I stopped breaking my own word, because in this world, believe it or not, everything will die, including you and myself. However, one thing that will never die is your voice. Believe it or not, probably no one else inside this world has the same pitch and the same character of voice like you have. And if you consistently break your own word like I was back then, you are never gonna trust yourself. And that's what I did differently. Whenever I would say something aloud, I would do it. Whenever I would say that I would do push-ups right now, I would do it. Thanks to that, I started acting, and that action gave me the decisive power to become who I needed, who I was meant to become. And will doesn't mean that you stop failing. Instead, it means that you'll fail even more. However, every time you fail, you don't give up. You don't say, screw it. You look at yourself, you brush yourself off, and you rise again, because your future self is waiting with an open arms, ready to hug you and become you. And if you're ready to change, you need to create your own will. Stop looking for streaks or magical applications that will count the days for you, or some random trick or tip on the internet that will make you 10 times better. Stop doing that. Avoid that at all costs. Instead, build this will. Build it, because once you have it, you'll be like those 300 Spartans at Thermopylae who fought until death for what they believed in. If you don't know the story, here is the brief summary. The Persians were about to attack Greece, but Greece was scared to defend itself, and so a small place called Sparta stepped in. And once Sparta stepped in, one general called Leonidas took the initiative and gathered 300 men with whom he went to these hot gates, basically two gigantic mountains, and the center is the only way that the enemy could get through. And so they fought in that position. An army that is still believed to have been an army of millions. So if they could do it, if they could fight for 7 days and resurrect the will to fight in the Greeks, who are you not to fend off those damn Persians in the form of fear within yourself? Who are you not to succeed? It all starts with the will and nothing else. And if you're curious what this will can do for you, well then, check out this video here so that you can understand what actions it forced me to take. And I was gladly taking them. I will see you here.